We can probably agree that video editing is a very fun and creative process, but let's face it, there are some tasks that are just so menial, boring, and labor intensive that we wish we could just outsource it or just simply not do at all. And a lot of that has to deal with cutting out dead air or silences in your A-roll talking head. Now, thankfully, Timebolt, which is a really cool piece of software that has recently come out, has made it really easy to cut out dead air in your footage. And this makes the whole process of creating video, creating content, a lot more fun and more manageable, especially for one person. So let's jump in and see how Timebolt can actually save you so much time and make video editing a less boring process. Let's get right into it.
So on this timeline, you can see that I have over 1 hour of footage of me just talking into the camera, and you can see that there's a lot of silences, a lot of breaks, and of course me messing up many times. So in order for me to manually cut this and to remove all the dead silence and all the mistakes, it would take a very, very long time. It would be very, very labor intensive to have to maybe select the razor tool, and then let's say I want to cut this over here. So I would click around here, click this, then select the clip, and then delete, then ripple delete. And then imagine having to do that like 1,000 times. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but imagine having to cut this clip again. So I cut it here, and delete. Now, obviously you can speed up the process by using shortcuts. So for example, if I want to cut right over here, I can press the Z shortcut, which is customized to cut. And then I want to trim everything to the left. So I can use the Q command, and then it becomes a little bit faster, but I still have to go through all my footage and trim it, and that just takes way too much time, especially for 1 hour footage. So this is where Timebolt comes in to make the whole process of truncating silence in your footage really, really easy. And best of all, when you use this software, there's no configuration required. All you need to do is just drag the file right in, hit export to XML, and then bring in that XML into your Adobe Premiere timeline, and you've pretty much got it all done. And this is the world that we should be living in. We should have these robots, these machines, these computers, this software. It's smart enough to know when there's a silence. We shouldn't have to, do this manual intensive labor work. So I think for the price, what you're getting out of it, the amount of time savings, the amount of, you don't have to pay someone to do this for you, I think it's definitely worth it. Timebolt is absolutely amazing. I'm going to show you a demo, how it quickly works. Let's get right into it. As a disclaimer, I want to say that I was not paid to make this video, nor was I given a free copy. However, I did sign up for their affiliate program, which means that if you use my coupon code to download and buy Timebolt, you will receive a discount and I may earn a small commission at no extra charge to you. Okay, so if we want to use Timebolt, this is the software right here. Very simple what it is. So we just locate the clips that we want to kind of trim all the dead air. And let's say in this case, I want to trim this one here, and it's just processing. And then what we want to do for Adobe Premiere is export XML. And that was really quick. And let's copy this over. Okay, so you just saw that. That was me repeating the same thing probably 5 times. And trust me, having to edit that would be extremely frustrating, very, very annoying. And you can see how well it just cut the clips over there. This whole process, just took a couple of seconds, but like all the dead air completely cut out. Very, very, very efficient process. And I don't have to manually do it. That is honestly, it just saves so much time. So after I've used Timebolt to truncate all the dead silence in my video clips, I'm going to use directional keys in order to go through the timeline really quickly. So this is a really handy shortcut to really cut through all the mistakes and kind of things that you don't want to include into your timeline. So the 2 keyboard shortcuts that I use to quickly toggle between different clips is up and down. And I believe it's this one, go to next edit point and go to previous edit point. Now, one thing I want to give you advice on is to enable this thing called selection follows playhead. And when that feature is enabled, what that does is that when you move the playhead, it automatically selects the clip that you're currently on. So what I'll do is I'm going to be playing and you're going to hear me talk and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and then I'm going to isolate the clip that I wanted. And for reason number 2, it's going to help. And for reason number 2, so that you don't lose out in your. So right there, that's when I stop saying for reason number 2. So I know that this clip is the right clip. Now in this case, it's pretty obvious because I already marked it and it's a longer clip. So, but yeah, that's just how I do it a lot faster. So I'm going to mark it with a yellow marker, and then yeah, so we'll continue the process. So down arrow. So that you don't lose. So let's jump into this plugin and I'll show you how it works. So that's it for this video. So I will put a. So right there, that's when I stop saying, so that's it. So I'm going to mark it. So I will put a link. I will leave a link in the. And there you go. That's how you quickly isolate the footage that you want to keep. Also, if you have multicam footage and you want to synchronize it, there is an Adobe Premiere plugin that lets you do this. Check it out. In fact, in this video, I synchronized 3 different cameras, 3 different audio sources, and the Timebolt program was able to perfectly match all the audio and cut it and trim it as expected. By the way, you're supposed to use this ZXP installer to install the extension. You don't necessarily have to use it if there's any issues with it being installed. All you need to do is go into your Adobe Premiere and then go to CEP extensions and then just drag in the Timebolt extension. However, in order to do that, you'll need to change the file extension of the plugin. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So when you download the extension, you'll have it in this weird format. All you have to do is rename it to zip. Then extract the file. And with this folder over here, you'll just simply drag it into the Adobe Premiere extensions directory, and then you pretty much have it ready to go. Now, just to be clear, you don't necessarily have to install this plugin into Adobe Premiere if you're just doing a single clip, but if you're doing multiple clips, it is advised to install this program. So for the next step, you'll need to drag the master audio source. Now, in my case, the master audio source is linked to a video, so that's totally fine. You don't have to. Testing mic, you have a lot more footage. So that is my master audio clip. I'm just gonna drag it in here. And this is 2 hours of me talking, so it's gonna process this relatively quick. So here's all the awesome work it has done. It has trimmed all the excess silence air. It's done a really accurate job. So for the next step, we're just gonna save this cut as a JSON. And it's just right over here, just saved right there. Okay, so we've got all the clips on the timeline. Let's select them all, Control A, and then let's synchronize. Okay, so we've synchronized 3 different cameras. The first layer is, of course, my OBS recording of my screen capture. If I disable that, that's just me from one other angle, and that's me from some other angle. And yeah, you can hear that it's all synchronized.
Because let's expand it again.
So that is all great. Now what we want to do is apply that master cut file, the JSON file that we just downloaded. And this is where the power of the Timebolt extension really comes in handy. So we need to apply these cuts on all the files over here. So let's select the first clip and apply it. And you can see in this top right corner, it's doing all the mark in, mark out, and it's doing all the hard work of trying to, apply all these cuts. Now this is quite an intense process. You can see that my CPU is heating up here and we're at 50% CPU usage, so it's not that bad. So after that processing, all 3 cameras have been synchronized. And I have to say, this is a real time saver. Having to synchronize 3 cameras and then cut them, get rid of all the silence air, that is a lot of work. This makes it super easy. So at the end of this video, I hope I convinced you that Timebolt is an amazing piece of software that's going to save you so much time and frustration while making video editing a lot more fun and creative. I've estimated the amount of hours I've saved using this piece of software, and based on that, it has definitely paid for itself more than 10 times. So I definitely think it's worth it, especially for the lifetime membership. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description. If you do use my coupon code, it definitely does help this channel. Thanks for your support, and I will see you in the next video.